Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Mercedes' view on the Las Vegas Grand Prix this weekend as well as Max Verstappen. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So let's start with Mercedes, and as we know they were very successful around Las Vegas last year. In 2024, George Russell took a dominant win, and while Lewis Hamilton had a bad qualifying and started down the order, he managed to recover up to P2. So yeah, Mercedes particularly strong in Las Vegas. And it's quite clear that the characteristics of the track suit the car, and on top of that, the cooler conditions seem to help Mercedes. Now, as we know, the battle for P2 in the Constructors this year has ebbed and flowed between Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull, but going into the Las Vegas Grand Prix weekend, Mercedes have a comfortable margin in P2 and could potentially extend that lead if they're good again around the track. But Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff has insisted that the team are not taking anything for granted, with him saying, "We have re-established our advantage in the battle for P2. We're not taking anything for granted though. We saw across Austin and Mexico just how quickly the gap can disappear, and whilst our performance last year in Las Vegas may have raised expectations externally for this weekend, we are not getting carried away. The field is incredibly competitive, and it's going to be a battle right until the bitter end in Abu Dhabi. We have 3 weeks of hard racing ahead to decide who comes out on top, and we're ready to get going." Now, this weekend is also crucial for Max Verstappen. As we know, he goes into this weekend 49 points behind championship leader Lando Norris. And I've spoken about Verstappen's chances of success around this circuit in another video, and if you want to find out more, I'll leave a link to a video I've done in the description. But basically, whatever happens, Verstappen has to finish ahead of both McLaren's Norris and Oscar Piastri to keep his title hopes alive. And it could result in Verstappen needing to get his elbows out. However, according to McLaren Racing Chief Executive Zak Brown, Verstappen has at times exceeded the limits of fair racing. And in Zak Brown's opinion, Verstappen has pulled several moves on Lewis Hamilton in Brazil which were beyond the limit. Now, if we go back to the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2021, Verstappen and Hamilton were fighting over the lead, and on the run down to turn 4, Hamilton passed Verstappen on the straight, but going into turn 4, Verstappen lunged it down the inside and took himself and Hamilton off the circuit as Verstappen maintained the lead. And then in 2022, the two drivers were side by side at turn 2 and made contact. And Zak Brown told The Telegraph, as quoted by Racing News 365, "Max has crossed the line on track at times in Brazil against Lewis Hamilton. A handful of his passes on Lewis were overly aggressive." Now, this year, Verstappen had a very good Brazilian Grand Prix. Qualifying was a disaster. He went 16th fastest, but he ended up starting from the pit lane, with the team deciding to make changes to his car, and he drove a really strong race and moved his way up to P3. Now, as part of the changes to Verstappen's car, Red Bull opted to completely change Verstappen's power unit, and it means Verstappen now has a fresh engine for the rest of the season, whereas his rivals, Norris and Piastri, do not. However, McLaren team boss Andrea Stella has questioned whether Verstappen's engine change should count towards Red Bull's cost cap. Now, as we know, since 2021, there has been a cost cap in place, and it limits the amount of money each team can spend during a season. And it's reportedly believed that if a team voluntarily opts for an engine swap for pure performance reasons, then that should be included in the cost cap. And GP fans report that it's now been revealed that the F1 Commission will discuss the matter of Verstappen and Red Bull's power units at a meeting on Friday before the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So yeah, it looks like this will be looked at. So what did Stella say? Well, he said, as quoted by GP fans, "These kind of power unit changes, they challenge the regulations. I will be interested in understanding if the cost of this engine now goes in the cost cap or not. If the engine was changed for performance reasons, it should go in the cost cap. So let's see if this is the case. Not that I will be able to see, as it's all on the Red Bull side, but it's also one reason why we wouldn't do it, because it would end up in the cost cap." But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care.